don't know if I should mention this now, but I'm out there on social media. I'm a social media influencer.
Where were you? Where was that?
So we stayed here, and then we went straight to Nottingham.
Right.
So then the blue car went on to the left, and the silver car kept to the left, and it was just harassing. Like the blue car was trying to let you go, like go. You can go now because I'm letting you go. But this silver car was not letting the blue car go.
Mehek Bukhari, a glamorous TikTok influencer with over 120,000 followers, often flaunted her designer clothes and lavish lifestyle. However, behind the glitz and perfectly curated social media posts lay a dark secret. A secret that would soon unravel into a shocking story of jealousy, betrayal, and murder. In February 2022, on a rain-soaked road near Leicester, England, Mehek Bukhari's life unraveled in a fiery crash that claimed 2 young men's lives, including her mother's secret lover. Prosecutors called it a deadly ambush. What could have driven the 23-year-old social media star to allegedly mastermind such a brutal act? Was she trying to protect her mother's reputation, or was something more sinister at play? Mehek Bukhari, known as May, was born on May 11, 1999, in the US, but moved to Pakistan shortly after birth. She spent her early years there before settling in Stoke-on-Trent, UK. Raised with her younger brother Armand by parents Ali Raza and Ansreen Bukhari, May was a dedicated student who studied fashion at Manchester University, where she balanced social life with academics. In 2019, while at university, May launched a TikTok account sharing challenges, dance routines, makeup tutorials, fashion tips, and lip-sync performances. May was dedicated to her influencer goals, launching a YouTube channel for travel vlogs alongside her TikTok account. Her efforts paid off, bringing her closer to her dream of becoming a prominent influencer. On TikTok, May showcased a lavish lifestyle, posting about fashion hauls with designer pieces and displaying her collection of customized Jordans and Dunks, reflecting her taste for luxury. By late 2019, May's TikTok following had reached tens of thousands, and her popularity attracted brands offering products and events invitations. Her videos averaged 100,000 views, leading to promotions at restaurants and clubs. While May was excited about her influencer success, problems soon emerged. Ansreen Bukhari, May's mother, was born in Pakistan on November 15, 1976, and moved to the UK as a baby. Raised in Stoke-on-Trent, she described her upbringing as conservative and strict, feeling overshadowed as the youngest of 4 siblings. Ansreen's autonomy was stifled by her parents, who disapproved of her dreams to become a flight attendant. They restricted her from attending college, dating, dressing as she wished, or socializing freely. During her late teens, she met Ali, a family friend, while traveling to Pakistan for her sister's wedding. Ali, who was around Ansreen's age, proposed when she was 19. By 21, Ansreen was married to him. The couple soon relocated to the UK and later moved to the US, where Ansreen became pregnant with May. The family briefly lived in the US before returning to Pakistan, where they had May's brother. They later moved back to the UK and settled in Stoke-on-Trent. By 2019, May's TikTok presence grew, and she featured her mother, Ansreen, in videos to boost her popularity. Initially hesitant, Ansreen soon enjoyed the attention from May's TikTok videos, feeling rejuvenated by the praise. One video, Hot Mum Check, was particularly acclaimed. Embracing the attention, Ansreen highlighted their close bond and often joined May at events, celebrating their relationship and growing social media presence. May traveled across the UK, promoting venues on TikTok for free meals and perks. As her popularity grew, she started receiving payments, and both she and Ansreen enjoyed the influencer lifestyle, relishing the attention and benefits that came with May's rising fame. At 42, Ansreen embraced a younger crowd, feeling rejuvenated and seeking excitement beyond her marriage. She began spending weekends away with May, enjoying attention and meeting new people. This led to a romantic affair with a married man in his 30s, escalating quickly from flirting to a serious relationship. Ansareen's affair with Saqib Hussain, one of several she had, grew increasingly intimate over a few months. May remained unaware of her mother's infidelity. In 2019, while visiting family in London, May installed the video chat app Azr on her mother's phone, connecting with strangers worldwide. While May and Ansareen used an app, they connected with Saqib Hussain. Ansareen thought it would be a brief chat, but was surprised when Saqib, intrigued by her and her daughter May's TikTok success, reached out on Instagram. Their friendly exchange turned flirtatious, evolving into a virtual affair. Saqib, 18, but posing as 27, intensified their interaction. In 2020, May left university to focus on her growing TikTok career. Throughout the lockdown, Ansareen continued her virtual affair with Saqib. When restrictions eased in August 2020, they arranged to meet in person for the first time in Birmingham, celebrating Saqib's birthday at a travel lodge. During their stay, they had sex for the first time. Saqib declared his love for Ansareen, and they took photos together, embracing and sharing kisses on the cheek. During their time together, Saqib and Ansareen had sex for the first time. Saqib declared his love, showered her with gifts like jewelry and perfumes, and took affectionate photos with her. Despite Ansareen's pleas to stop, Saqib persisted, demanding more meetings and threatening further contact. Ansareen reluctantly agreed to one last meeting in London, where Saqib gave her an Apple Watch and proposed a relationship, which she firmly declined. Saqib continued contacting her, escalating by attending one of May's influencer events after tracking them through social media. At the event, Saqib approached May casually, talking to her right in front of Ansareen. To May, he seemed like a stranger, but Ansareen was terrified of exposure. Saqib's flirtation intensified her anxiety. After an hour, he paid the £80 tab at the bar and left. The encounter deeply unsettled Ansareen, making it clear that Saqib would not relent. His harassment grew more intense, and he threatened to send the photos from the travel lodge to Ansareen's husband if she did not agree to be his girlfriend. Despite the photos showing them clothed, their close proximity was evident. Ansareen feared the impact on her marriage, family, and May's social media image. As Saqib's demands increased, he insisted on video chats and threatened to send the photos to Ansareen's husband if she refused. Feeling trapped, Ansareen agreed and, under pressure, disrobed, while Saqib secretly recorded the encounter, gathering more explicit evidence. After the video calls, Saqib used the explicit footage to further threaten Ansareen. He demanded she meet him in London, which she did reluctantly. They met at a travel lodge in London, where they had sex for the second time. What started as a twisted affair in 2019 spiraled into a toxic relationship that lasted over 2 years. By 2021, Saqib's obsession grew darker, shifting his focus from Ansareen to her daughter, May. He sought to exploit her popular TikTok account. Saqib launched an online business and contacted May, offering £500 for promoting it. Unaware of his true identity, May accepted. Saqib then began posting threatening comments on May's TikTok, accusing her mother of having an affair. When May saw the comments accusing her mother of an affair, she dismissed them as trolling. However, Ansareen recognized them as Saqib's doing and was mortified. May continued to ignore the comments, thinking they were from a hater. Saqib escalated his harassment by photoshopping May's head onto pornographic images and sharing them on TikTok. He also sent explicit photos of Ansareen to May. Horrified and doubtful of the image's authenticity, May confronted her mother for an explanation. Ansareen initially denied the images, claiming they were fake. But after enduring persistent harassment from Saqib, she realized he would not relent. Overwhelmed, Ansareen finally confessed the truth to May, explaining the affair with Saqib and the ongoing harassment they were facing. May was devastated when she discovered her mother's infidelity, experiencing shock, betrayal, and anger. Initially, she was furious with Ansareen, but soon redirected her anger towards Saqib, whom she saw as the real threat to her family and her emerging social media career. Determined to address the issue, May began messaging Saqib directly, demanding to know why he was targeting her mother and urging him to stop. She made it clear that Ansareen wanted nothing to do with him. Despite this, Saqib intensified his harassment, focusing on May. He bombarded her TikTok with hate messages, using ghost accounts to send abuse. Each time May blocked an account, new ones appeared, worsening the online harassment. Saqib demanded £500 he had paid May and became increasingly aggressive. He called the house phone, shouting abuse at Ansareen, which increased her anxiety. Feeling trapped, Ansareen begged May for help. Desperate, Ansareen messaged Saqib, asking, "What do you want? I'll do anything. Just leave me alone." Saqib demanded £3,000, promising to disappear if she paid. As Saqib's messages became increasingly volatile, Ansareen and May grew fearful for their safety, suspecting he might become violent. They were shocked to learn that Saqib's threats and harassment were not isolated to Ansareen, but were part of a broader pattern of abusive behavior. In early 2022, Saqib began harassing another woman he had met during a night out. Despite her repeated refusals and mentioning she had a boyfriend, Saqib persistently pressured her for her number. Feeling pressured, she eventually gave it to him, hoping he would stop. After that night, Saqib relentlessly bombarded May with messages, ignoring her refusals and threats of violence. He called her 15 to 20 times a day, threatened to damage her car, and warned her to watch her back. Terrified, May reported him to the police, but no charges were filed. Saqib's harassment was a significant threat not only to Ansareen and May, but to other women as well. As their fear and desperation grew, they started considering drastic measures to end the torment and keep the explicit images hidden. On January 4th, 2022, weeks after discovering her mother's affair, May threatened on WhatsApp, "I'll soon get him jumped by guys. He won't know what day it is or who did it." May confided in her friend, car mechanic Reckon Carwan, to help silence Saqib. They planned to lure Saqib to a Tesco car park under the pretense of paying him £3,000 to delete photos. Their real intention was to ambush him, steal his phone, delete the photos, and end his threats. Reckon Carwan took the lead in recruiting for the plan, enlisting his best friend Rais Jamal, who then brought in his girlfriend Natasha Akhtar, cousin Amir Jamal, and friends son of Ghulam Mustafa and Muhammad Patel. Though May and Ansareen only knew Reckon, 8 people joined the scheme. As the plot unfolded, May's TikTok behavior raised concern. She posted videos lip-syncing to audio about killing, including one from The Vampire Diaries, where she mimicked a line about a woman killing a man. While her followers might have seen it as playful, these posts hinted at the darker reality unfolding. On February 10, 2022, May messaged Saqib, saying they had the £3,000 he wanted and arranged to meet at the Tesco car park in Leicester. Saqib, expecting to receive the money, agreed. He asked his friend Hashim Muhammad, a reliable 21-year-old, for a lift to Leicester. Hashim, eager to help, agreed without hesitation. Around 1 a.m., Saqib and Hashim arrived at the Tesco car park, where Ansareen, May, and their accomplices were already present. The black Audi TT registered to May had Reckon driving, Ansareen as the passenger, and May and Muhammad in the back. The blue seat owned by Natasha was driven by Rais, with Natasha, Sanaf, and Amir as passengers. The deserted car park set the stage for their ambush, with the group wearing balaclavas and carrying screwdrivers and tire irons. In the early hours of February 11th at 1:17 a.m., CCTV footage showed a silver Skoda entering the Tesco car park, driven by Hashim with Saqib as the passenger, expecting to meet May and Ansareen. Saqib focused on the black Audi TT ahead. As they approached the Audi, Saqib saw 2 men inside wearing balaclavas and noticed the blue seat in the car park, also occupied by people in balaclavas. Realizing something was terribly wrong, Saqib's sense of dread grew. Panicked, Saqib urged Hashim to leave immediately, and Hashim sped out of the car park. Seeing the plan unravel, May ordered Reckon in the black Audi TT to chase and ram Hashim and Saqib's car off the road. Reckon accelerated quickly, and the blue seat followed as soon as the black Audi left the car park. Both Reckon and Rais were banned from driving and lacked valid licenses. The intense car chase was partially captured on CCTV. As Reckon pursued the silver Skoda, the situation escalated with both cars speeding recklessly. Race in the blue Seat followed closely behind. A phone call between the black Audi TT and the blue Seat kept communication open. They discussed strategies to stop Saqib, using phrases like get Saqib to stop, box him in, and force him off the road. The plan involved the blue Seat overtaking the Skoda while the Audi TT stayed behind to box Saqib in. As the blue Seat tried to brake in front of the silver Skoda, forcing it to stop, the maneuver failed. In the black Audi TT, May grew increasingly furious, shouting, "Stop them! We need to stop them!" In a rage, May called Saqib, demanding, "Pull over! Watch what I do to you!" Saqib, terrified, replied, "No way, you're just going to hurt me," and hung up. The chase escalated as the Audi TT and the blue Seat continued their reckless pursuit of the silver Skoda, weaving through traffic and ignoring signals. Traveling at about 100 miles per hour, the cars dangerously navigated roundabouts. Saqib, fearing for his life, called 999, saying, "Help me, I am being followed by 2 vehicles." The operator asked, "How do you know you're being followed?" Saqib, in a panic, tells the operator, "They're trying to block me in." The operator asks if he can reach a police station. Saqib, desperate, replies, "I can't go to a police station. I need help now." The operator responds, "Why can't you get to a police station?" Saqib, increasingly frantic, explains, "There are guys in balaclavas following me." He struggles to describe his location as he's unfamiliar with Leicester, making it hard to pinpoint where he is. As the Audi TT and blue Seat close in, they aggressively ram the silver Skoda. Hashim tries to control the car while Saqib, still on the phone, cries out, "They're trying to kill me! I'm going to die! They're trying to ram me off the road!" The operator tells Saqib, "Slow down, you've given me a lot of information." Despite this, Saqib's panic escalates as he pleads, "They're hitting the vehicle, please help, I'm in danger, they're right behind me, hitting the back of the car, please, I'm begging you." Race and Reckon, enraged in the Audi TT and Seat, aim to force the Skoda off the road. In the backseat, May shouts, "Ram them off the road!" Race, driving the Seat, tells Reckon over the phone, "I think I can take them out." Reckon replies, "Okay, go ahead," and ram him. The Seat slams into the Skoda's rear. Hashim struggles to control the Skoda while Saqib stays on the phone. The operator finally assures him that help is on the way. Just as hope seemed near, the situation deteriorated. The operator hears a crash and Saqib scream, "Oh my God!" followed by another bang. The call abruptly ends. At 1:32 a.m., 15 minutes after arriving at the Tesco car park, Race in the blue Seat crashes into the rear of Saqib's Skoda. The Skoda spins out of control, hits the crash barrier, and becomes airborne before slamming into a tree and catching fire. Saqib and Hashim tragically die in the crash. The Audi TT and blue Seat show no sign of distress. They drive away past the crash site and later pull over in Leicester. On CCTV, they are seen discussing an alibi calmly. A passerby who saw the explosion called emergency services. Firefighters arrived to find the wreckage. The Skoda was split in 2, with the engine ejected. Saqib and Hashim died from the impact before the car caught fire. The police quickly investigated, linking Saqib's 999 call and CCTV footage to the crash. They identified the vehicles involved as May's Audi TT and Natasha's blue Seat. By 8 a.m. on February 11, 2022, just over 6 hours after the crash, police arrested Natasha Akhtar. Natasha warned Race, who tried to alert May, but she missed the calls while still asleep. After the chase, May and Ansareen had gone home and slept. The police arrived shortly after Natasha's arrest, and May's family, confused, answered the door. Panicked, May began calling Reckon for guidance. Reckon advised May to claim she was driving the Audi TT to shift the blame from him. May, unaware of his motives, agreed and informed her mother of the plan before meeting the police. May and Ansareen provided an alibi, claiming May was at an influencer event in Nottingham.
Me and May went. No, yeah, we were out.
Where was that?
So we first stayed here, and then we went straight to Nottingham.
Right. Okay. In the Audi.
Yeah.
The police were skeptical, arrested May on the spot, and took her to the station for questioning. At this point, May and Natasha were the only ones in custody, believed to be the drivers involved. During her interrogation, May appeared entitled, emphasizing her influencer status. She claimed her alibi was attending an influencer event in Nottingham with her mother and returning to Stoke-on-Trent when road closures led them to get lost in Leicester.
So then the blue car went on to the left, and the silver car kept to the left, and it was just harassing. Like the blue car was trying to let you go, like go, go, go. You can go now because I'm letting you. But this silver car was not letting the blue car go.
May insisted she witnessed the car chase by chance, deflected blame onto others, and claimed her involvement with the black Audi TT was innocent. When questioned about the car crash, May asserted that she had not seen it. She maintained that she was simply driving with her mother, who had instructed her to continue driving without stopping.
Out from I didn't see. All I've seen is they've hit, and all I see is right, like a swerve. The silver car swerved to not my side, to the other side of the dual carriageway where the metal bits are basically. And I didn't see the car after that. I didn't hear a bang. Apparently there was mentioned there was a tree. I didn't see no tree. I didn't see anything. I've gone straight on. I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, what? I was just in shock.
The police quickly suspected May's story was fabricated. Under pressure, she confessed, revealing Saqib, the crash victim, was blackmailing her mother with explicit images and claiming he was ruining their lives. This admission gave the police key evidence. Assessing May and Ansareen's phones, they found proof of the affair, Saqib's threats, and explicit images, exposing how May and her mother had orchestrated the attack. May recruited Reckon, who then brought in the others. The police swiftly tracked down all 8 individuals: May, Ansareen, Reckon, Rais, Natasha, Sanaf, Muhammad, and Amir. The trial began in April 2023, with the defendants quickly turning on each other to save themselves. The proceedings dragged on for months, highlighted by a striking lack of remorse. May, in particular, seemed indifferent, often smirking and laughing during breaks, even playing Uno and Monopoly, despite the serious charges against her. The prosecution depicted May and Ansareen as the ringleaders, determined to silence Saqib permanently. Their repeated lies and contradictions during the trial damaged their credibility and reinforced their roles in the crime. A key revelation was May's false claim that Saqib had posted deep fake images of her on TikTok. A thorough investigation found no evidence of these images, proving May had fabricated the accusation. May admitted to fabricating details, including the deepfake story. The trial confirmed Saqib had blackmailed Ansareen and May, but the judge criticized his immaturity and volatility while finding Ansareen's testimony unreliable. There wasn't enough evidence to prove Saqib coerced Ansareen into undressing or sexual acts. The jury found May, Ansareen, Reckon, and Rais guilty of murder, while Natasha, Amir, and Sanaf were convicted of manslaughter. Muhammad, the only defendant who fully cooperated, stood apart from the others. Muhammad, the last person recruited for the plan, maintained that he was unaware of its details. His full cooperation with the police and apparent lack of intent to engage in the violence led to the decision not to charge him, allowing him to walk free. In September 2023, Mehek May Bukhari was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 31 years and 8 months. Ansareen Bukhari received a life sentence with a minimum of 26 years and 9 months. And Reckon Karwan was sentenced to life with a minimum of 26 years and 10 months. Rais Jamal was sentenced to life with a minimum of 31 years. Natasha Akhtar received 11 years and 8 months, while Amir Jamal and Sanaf Ghulam Mustafa each received 14 years and 8 months. After sentencing, May and Ansareen Bukhari became Britain's first mother-daughter duo convicted of double murder. The judge criticized Mehek Bukhari's social media presence, saying, "Your influencer fame has made you immature, self-obsessed, and entitled, with no awareness of your impact on others." As we conclude this unsettling exploration into the darker side of social media fame, it raises the question, how well do we truly know the people we idolize online? And what darkness might be hidden behind their filtered smiles? If you're craving more thrilling stories and unexpected twists, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us to bring you more stories like Mehek Bukhari's. See you on the next one.